Hello, let me introduce our topic. Consolidated Information Resource of University Archives of Lviv Polytechnic as a research platform of scientific heritage, historical and cultural memory, project implementation methodology. Authors Maria Komova, Tetiana Bilushchak, Alina Petrushka, and Zhanna, Myna. Uh, so, um, modern society being in the conditions of information war and civilizational confrontations between various models of social developments need stable foundations of public consciousness based of reliable and complete documentary and factual information. In the globalizations of the information space, the principles of open access to documentary and factual information which ensures the free circulation of information flows is being updated. In the informatizations of occur, first an important directions is the digitizations of archival funds, not only for the preservations but also for inductions into scientific circulations and popularizations through the creations of a consolidated information resource of the archive. The unique materials of the archive of the Lviv Polytechnic National University reproduce the events of 1939, 1941 in the west of Ukraine. They become kind of historical watershed. The thorough, reliable knowledge about the events of World War II's first years is essential for such research aspects as geopolitical, social, economical, and culture. Knowledge of documentary and factual information about student certificates and pedagogical staff in LPNU of this period has not only perspective significance, but also forms a view of the future of Ukraine society due to democratic governance and peace-building principles. The purpose of the research is to present the methodology of the implementations of a scientific project on the creations of a consolidated information resource of Albanian use archive of as a research platform of scientific heritage, historical and cultural memory. To realize this goal, it is necessary to perform tasks. To present the basic principles of the CRLP project concept, develop a series of goals for the implementations for the CRLP project to formulate the general methodology principles of digitizations of archive documents for the period 1939 1941 starts the LPNU's archive to determine the method of identifications and selections of documents of the Alpine use curves for the period 1931 1941 intended for digitizations to determine the digitizations algorithm of identified and select documents to develop a technical task for CLP design by creating information functions, models, and structural scheme of the curves website. Implementations of the CRLP project involves the development of a goal tree, which allows for determine the main goals and establishing intermediate stages for each achievement achievements. The tree of goals defines the movements vector and the search for CLP project implementations or options. The main goals is to develop consolidated information resource, and the sub goals correspond to the stage of project implementations. As the first stage of project implementation, the development of a methodology for the digitalizations of personal organizations, administrative reference informations, educations, methodological documents for the period 1939-1941, which stored in the open use cave and also constitute and appearance of potential scientific and practical value for domestic and international research. The typological structure can be established by the views continuously reviewing the documents, establishing the typological future and assigns them a classification index. The purpose of a preparatory content analysis of case is to obtain primary source information to ensure the digitizations and classification of received records. For this, technological cards is drawn up for each case with the task of digitization and indexing each selected documents. The unique index of the documents consists of the case number, the index of the documents type, and the documents number in order separate by hyphens. The documents metadata characterizes information about the documents for inclusion in the CLP database. Persons metadata characterizes information about staff of LPNU for inclusion in the CLP database. The indicator for achieving a positive result each stage will be the development of methodological recommendations for the digitizations of curve documents of the LPNU from 1939-1941, which are of appearance or potential scientific and practical value for domestic and international research. The project's second stage is dedicated to identifying and selecting documents from the open use archive for the period 1939-1941 intended for digitization. Preparatory work includes the following tasks to conduct and examinations of the scientific value of a curve documents of the LPNU for the years 1939, 1941, and conduct the content analysis following the methodology. To fill out technical cards of the cases with the task of digitizations and index selected documents. The indicator of each one, a positive result at this stage will be create an area of cases with technological cards for digitization select documents. The first stage of the project covers the digitizations of selected documents to form an array of digitization archive documents of the LPNU as well as the aggregations of metadata of persons and documents. The detailed list of tasks of the stage includes to digitize the selected documents following the technological cards of the cases, to fill out persons metadata forms, to fill out documents metadata forms, to fill out the cards of the volume of performance works. The selected documents the digitize according to the algorithm. The indicator of achieving a positive result at this stage will be create an array of digitized archival documents for publishing on the consolidated information resource of the LPNU's archive. At the fourth stage of the project implementations, a prototype of the consolidated information resource of the Alpine News will be developed. It will cover the implementation of task using information technologies to develop a technical task for the design of the SLP structure, to choose software development methods, programming language, content management platforms, and database design. To create a database of the SLP and its web interface. The development of the technical task for the designs of SLP involves creating information, functional models, and a structural scheme of the CAF website. On this slide, illustrated in the models of CRP in chain notation, and with the help of a contents diagram, GFD functional requirements are divided into components and presented as a network connected by data flows. The next step is decomposing, develop a context diagram detailing the primary process. On the slide illustrated in the shell pairs, a structure scheme is hierarchical structure of the website rubrics of the archive. Two structural schemes of therapy have been developed for the administration and the user research. The main task of the administrator will be the creation of rubrics for digitizate curve materials, the updating and complement. The structure of CLP provides for the functions of the scientific and education forum page, which will allow feedback between project developers and user and scientific collaborations between users. The indicator of achieving a positive result at this stage will be the create of a prototype of the CLP. In the five stage of the project, the CLP will be practically implemented by entering digitized information and metadata of persons and documents into the database of CRP. The indicator of achieving a positive result at this stage will be the CRP filled with digitized documents and metadata of persons and documents. The sixth stage of the project will be divided to the approval of the CRLB to verify its compliance and functionality. Organizations and technical process and act of communication interactions with will testify to the achievement of project goals will embody the following task to provide open access to the sample to analyze feedback to develop it, online questionnaire forms for surveillance users of the resource to update the content of therapy following the comments and suggestions of information users. The indicator of achieving a positive result at this stage will be on a bit assessment of the complaints and functionality of the SLP as a source of primary documentary and factual information about the historical and culture heritage of the Ukrainian scientific community. So Ukrainian researchers need a high quality, accessible, scientific, empirical base that would allow them to overcome territorial communication, information, and organization barriers. In times of globalization, the issue of the scientific and culture heritage created at the LPNU at the initial stage of World War II goes from beyond the borders of domestic issues. Documentary and factual information related to this period is of significant scientific interest to research from different countries. The particular value of documentary and factual information for scientific research is because the LPNU was formed under the conditions of the stage Austria, Hungary, Poland, and the Soviet Union. The formations of a consolidated open access information resource about Polytechnic scientific of the special period and its integration into a single information space will ensure the possibility of automated information processing, free access, and the use of unique documents. It will also contribute to the establishment of international scientific collaboration and the implementation of international scientific projects. The concept of open data provides the possibility of using documentary and factual information about the activities of the OpenU during the beginning of World War II for the development of new innovative production and service diversifications of the areas and purposes of its application as a component of ensuring the sustainable development of society. In this aspect, the pacifications of national memory and the popularization of reliable documentary and factual information serve not only as a tool for meeting the information needs of current generations, but also for forming robust information foundations for protection. Protection in interest of future generations.